back to the classroom corner. I'm so happy to have you guys back. Can you believe it's been a whole week since the last time that I saw you guys? That's crazy. This week has seemed to go by so quickly. At least it has for me. Has it for you? I don't know. I can't hear you. But maybe it has. Maybe it hasn't. Who knows? Okay, so we're going to jump straight into the story. But before we do that, let's think in our brains real quick. Think. What was the story for last week? It involved a place that we were traveling to. We were traveling to it on a road. Any ideas? I'm hearing a couple, and I heard one of them said it was on the road to Emmaus, which was right. So we went, and there was these two guys. There they are. They're right over here. So there's these two disciples, and they were walking back, and Jesus appeared right in front of them. But did they recognize Jesus at first? No, they didn't. They just thought this was just a random guy, just wanted to walk with them, and they let him. But then, as soon as he broke the bread and blessed it, guess what? They recognized that it was Jesus, and that after that actually, then Jesus disappeared, which is crazy. But I mean, with Jesus, anything can happen. And God too. So, we are going somewhat off of that, or continuing on with that story. In a way, kind of, sort of. Story's gonna be kind of in two parts here, because we have the first part in the book, which has some awesome pictures and describes it great, and then it stops, and then, so we're gonna read one part in here and one part in here. It sounds a little confusing, hopefully it's not. Okay, so, gonna get to the right page first. Nope, there we go. Okay, so this is about Jesus returning. So the disciples had locked themselves in a small room. So this was right after Jesus rose. They locked themselves in a small room because they were afraid the leaders would send soldiers to arrest them. So remember, the disciples were there when Jesus was arrested. So they were there, they witnessed Jesus being arrested, so some of the soldiers might have seen him, and they might have been really scared because look what happened to Jesus. They didn't want that to happen to them, so they were scared, they were hiding. And honestly, if I was in the disciples' place, I would be scared too. But then I would remind myself that God's got it under control, and He had planned this all along. So here we have a picture of one of the disciples looking out the window, and he's like, uh-oh. He's like, we gotta hide, guys. He's hiding. He's scared. Oh, and this comes from John chapter 20, verse 19 through 20. My God. So they're hiding. So we're all, go ahead and hide your face, or curl up in a ball or something. We're hiding. We don't want to be caught by the soldiers. We want to stay and lay down low because we're scared. So we're all scared, and we're hiding. And then guess what? Suddenly, Jesus appeared to them. He didn't go and knock on the door. He wasn't like, hey. He didn't knock on the door. He wasn't like, didn't wait patiently for the door to open, and the disciples, oh, Jesus. No, he just appeared right there, and there was Jesus. And he said, peace be with you, because, I mean, we were already really scared. We didn't want to get caught by the soldiers, and all of a sudden, Jesus just appears, and all they know is that Jesus is dead. So they're thinking that this is a ghost. They're thinking that Jesus has come back as a ghost. So they thought he was a ghost, but Jesus said, hold on, touch my hands and feet so you will know that it's really me. Now why would Jesus say that? Why would Jesus be like, okay, it all makes sense, you just gotta touch my hands and feet. Why not oh, touch my shoulders or something, pat my head and then you'll know it's me. Why specifically did Jesus say touch my hands and feet? Any ideas? Think of brains? Think of brains so hard that it magically transmits to my brain. I got one answer from somebody. So it was because Jesus got nailed to the cross with his hands here and then his feet by his ankles. So they were looking for something. So they weren't just looking to touch his hands, they were also looking for the holes that the nails had made. And sure enough, as you see in the picture here, they were there. They were the holes there, and so are the ones on his feet. Those are not depicted, but there was one giant one that was on his ankle. So he said, touch my hands and feet so you will know that it's really me. So go ahead, and if you have someone around them, go ahead and high five them, or you, I mean, you can just go and grab their hand if you want, but they'll probably be a little confused. Go ahead and high five them. They feel that physical touch, because they are not a ghost. They are there. They are actually there, just like how Jesus was actually there. And you can touch their feet if you want. Give their ankle a high five, but it wouldn't be a high five. I don't know. Just go high five somebody. So, how do you think the disciples? Sorry. How do you think the disciples felt about this? If I was a disciple and I was all scared, all of a sudden there was Jesus, but he's like, "Hold on, peace be with you. It's all good. I'm not a ghost. We're good," and all that. How would you guys feel? I know that I would feel so happy because Jesus is here. Jesus is alive. That's what we've been saying in the past 3 lessons, that Jesus is alive, and it's such a great thing. So the disciples, they cheered. They were very, very happy to see Jesus again. I would be too. So look how happy they are. They are celebrating and they are having a good old time. So that was part 1. Part 2, we get introduced to a character. So I wonder who that character might be. So there's a disciple named Thomas. Now Thomas, he's one of the more well-known disciples because he's known as Doubtful Thomas. So when Jesus appeared to the disciples, he actually wasn't there. I don't know where he was. It doesn't say. But he was somewhere else. He might have been, I don't know, running errands. Maybe he wasn't as scared as the rest of the disciples. I don't know. Only Thomas knows that. So he was not with the disciples when Jesus came to them for the first time. So imagine Thomas is coming back, and or he's talking to one of his other disciple buddies, and one of them is just like, "Hey, hold on, Thomas, you'll never guess what happened. Jesus is alive. He appeared to us, and we gotta see him. We gotta touch his hands. We gotta see the nails and everything. And Jesus is alive." So they told him, "We've seen the Lord." And Thomas, he was Doubtful Thomas because he didn't believe him. He's like, "No, come on, guys, you're messing with me. That didn't happen. No." So he did not believe him. And Thomas said, "I need to see it for myself." So he said that, and he's like, "Nope, not gonna believe it. Nope, I am Doubtful Thomas, and I will doubt this statement." And he was very like, "No, I'm doubtful." But then 8 days later, the disciples were together again, and this time Thomas was with them. Although the doors were closed and locked, Jesus had come to them. So just imagine you're in a room, doors are locked, windows are not, well, they didn't have windows, but doors are locked, and it's just, there's a one-way entrance, there's no other way someone could have gotten in, and all of a sudden Jesus appears again. Jesus is just appearing and disappearing. He disappeared on the road to Emmaus when he broke the bread, and after they realized it was actually him, he disappeared, or he appeared to the disciples randomly, to say like, "Hey, I'm alive." And then now he's appearing again for another time to Thomas. Well, not just to Thomas, but to the whole room of disciples, but specifically, Thomas would be able to see him too. So although the doors were closed and locked, Jesus came to them. He said, "Peace be with you," just like the other time. He had said, because again, if someone, especially Thomas over here, he's gonna think what the other disciples thought. "Oh, it's a ghost. There's Jesus as a ghost in here. I don't know what's happening." And he'd be pretty scared, but he's like, "Peace be with you." And he told Thomas, "Here, touch me where I was hurt. You will believe me." So Thomas goes, and he is able to feel the holes in his hands and his ankles. And do you think after that, Thomas was still doubtful? Do you think he had just seen Jesus appear in a locked room where there was no way in, unless someone got up and opened the door? So he appeared out of nowhere, and he just touched Jesus' wounds. So do you think that he would still be doubtful? I know if I was Doubtful Thomas, I would be like, "Okay, Jesus, God, I believe you now." And that's what Thomas was like. He said, "My Lord and my God, it's you." And Jesus said, "You believe because you can see. People who can't see still believe." People who can't see but still believe will be happy. So he makes a good point there. We'll jump back to that. So Thomas, he was he was just so happy. And he's like, he comes to this realization, he's like, it is you, and I'm sorry I doubted you, but you just never doubt Jesus or God, because no matter what, no matter how it may seem like, they always got your back. So Jesus said, you believe because you can see me. I am so sorry, I cannot talk. This whole week, I have not been able to talk, period. So sorry. Okay, you believe you can see me. You believe because you can see me. People who can't see but still believe will be happy. I am so sorry for that. Okay. So he's saying that right now you're believing because you can see me. But there will have to be a time where some people can't see me, but they will still be happy. Because now we see signs of Jesus. Or we can. We see images of crosses everywhere. We have like God moments where you're like, it's like something might happen and you'd be like, oh, you know what, that was God working through my life there. But we don't see Jesus just walking around because he's up in heaven with God. So we don't see him in the flesh. We don't see him as Thomas saw him. And in the flesh we weren't able to touch his wounds and all that. But we still believe and we still are happy. Even though we can't see him, because we see Jesus everywhere and we see God everywhere. Take a look outside a window. You see trees. Where do the trees come from? They came from God. You see the sky, you see the animals. If any of you guys have pets, you see your pets. And just all sorts of stuff everywhere. There's God everywhere. So even though we're not seeing Jesus in the flesh, we're not seeing his wounds and all that, God still says, people who can't see but still believe will be happy. So if we believe in him, even though we can't see him, but if we believe in him, we will be happy. And that is such a great message to end on there for the story. So now that we have done the Bible story for today, it is time for our poster pieces, and we have two, and actually one poster piece will be the last one for the poster. But before we get to that, we're going to go ahead, if I can hold it, there we go. We're going to go ahead and glue this guy up here. Now take a guess. Who do you think this might be over here? Could be anyone. Could be, do you think it's Jesus? Do you think it's God? Think in your heads who it might be. Who are we just talking about? It was Thomas. And we can definitely tell it's Thomas because Thomas is looking, he's still a little confused. This is like right before he realized. And actually, I'm going to put, well, we can't put him right next to him. I'll put him above Jesus because he was pointing to Jesus and he's like, wait. He was very confused. And he was in much disbelief as well. But then after, which ties into the second poster piece over here, then after he was so happy. He was like, Jesus, this is actually you. That is so amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this one. Goodness, that's a big poster piece. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and glue this one over here. And actually, this is the last one for this poster here. So that kind of concludes all the Easter stuff because we had Palm Sunday, and then we had when the tomb had been rolled away with Mary and all her friends. And then over here we had the road to Emmaus, Jesus walking with the two disciples, and they still didn't know that it was Jesus yet. And then over here we have Jesus hugging Thomas because he had just found out that Jesus is actually alive. Okay, so that leads us to, so actually next time this poster will probably be down, so say goodbye to this poster, this amazing poster. And actually, because it'll be the last time it will probably be up, we're going to go ahead and read the verse just one more time. So it says, Hosanna, blessings on the one who comes in the name of the Lord. And that comes from Mark chapter 11, verse 9. That is such a beautiful verse. And then actually has the same thing down here too. So we've had double verses of the same things down here and here. So yeah, this is getting pretty full here. This Walking with Jesus poster looks pretty cool. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the craft. And the craft for today, it's not really a craft, but it's still pretty cool. So let's scoot up here a tiny bit so you can see the craft a little bit better. So craft's not really a craft, it's more of a worksheet. But unfortunately, I cannot hand you this piece of paper through the screen. I wish I could. Here you go, take it. I wish that you could take it from me, but unfortunately technology is not quite that advanced yet. Maybe that would be so cool if one day, like, it's like, I could just be like, hey, here you go, and you could just take it. That'd be so cool. But, so we can't do that right now. Excuse me. So for right now, I will have to explain it to you. So Thomas had a lot of questions. Because Thomas was like, wait, because you can see here, there we go. Here, Thomas, he's looking pretty confused. He's like, wait, you're Jesus, but you just died, and the doors are locked and you just appeared. He had a lot of questions. He's like, how is this happening? And oh my goodness. So, and if I was in his place, I would have a lot of questions too, let's be honest. I'm sure, not even just Thomas, I'm sure all of the disciples had many questions. So, for here, it's all about questions. So, here we have our first question here is, where does daylight come from? I don't know. So the questions are, if you're going straight from the worksheet, it's, what do I observe and what do I think? So you could look outside and see where where sunlight is coming from, and you could say what you think about it. And then you can look up what the Bible says about it, and you can find the answer to that in Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 18, and a couple other places too. But if you just search up, this is kind of like a nice, like, research exploration kind of thing. So, and then what do people trust, I say? So you can ask your parents or anybody else that may be in your house that you trust. And then you can look up what scientists, historians, and mathematicians say. And then you can say, what do you observe? What do you think? And what have you learned? And then you can tell people about what you have learned. And then it has back here too, where you make up your own question and you do all that. You don't have to follow this exactly, of course. What you can do is you can maybe think of something that, like a burning question that you've had, of like maybe something in nature, or maybe a cool story in the Bible, about like, wait, but how does this happen, or something like that. And then you can like do some research on it. You can grab your parents and go online and maybe look up something about the topic, or just something like that. And then maybe even when you find the answer, maybe call up a friend and tell them about all the awesome things you learned from your question. Yeah, so it's more of an activity than a craft, but I still think it's pretty cool. So I will leave you guys with that. So, scoot back here. That leaves us with the song of the day, and song of the week. The song of the week is, I had it. Oh, Worry About a Thing. It is I won't, wait. Oh no, the actual song name. Yeah, Worry About a Thing. Yep, we're gonna go with that. Worry About a Thing. It is from the Shipwrecked VBS. I was just listening to it actually before I started recording this. And it's one of my favorite VBS songs personally, because I remember it so clearly. I was getting ready for last year's VBS. It was like the first night. I was super stressed and I was listening to my VBS playlist, and then that came on and I'm like, okay, God, thank you. I needed to take a breather and just kind of relax. And I did, and of course the day ended up going amazing because of God, and it was an awesome first night of VBS. So it has a special place in my heart. And this week, if I'm being honest, I've been worrying a lot this week. Like, a lot more, like, just, I don't know, with everything happening, I've just been worrying a lot. So it kind of, as I was listening today, it kind of reminded me that, you know what, I don't know how to worry about a thing. It's all gonna be okay, and it'll at the end of the day, it'll all be okay, because God's got it all under control. So I thought it was really good. So it's Worry About a Thing, or I Won't Worry About a Thing, if you search something like that up. And then Shipwrecked is the VBS, and then it's by Group Music, or just Group. It's on Spotify, so you can go ahead and search it up, or I'm sure it's on YouTube as well. So it's a wonderful song. So I will leave that for you guys to go listen to. So we're going to wrap it up with the Lord's Prayer here, and then that will be it for the day. Man, that time completely flew by. So, like always, I will be saying one line, and then you will be repeating that other line. It'll be really awkward for me, but hopefully it won't be for you, because you'll be saying it with me, and it'll be just like if we were doing it in the classroom. So let's bow our heads and let's say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. And give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Alright, and that will wrap it up for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I miss you guys so much. So much. And I hope that everybody is well, everybody is safe, and that all is good. And also, hopefully, I don't know what platform you guys are watching on, but we are on YouTube. That is where church live streams are going up, church songs are going up. That's where these videos are going up, which is awesome. So go ahead, we're on YouTube now. We're everywhere pretty much. But you can find all the videos in chronological order. So if you want to go rewatch one, go ahead and go rewatch it. You should just be able to go back and you'll be able to find it. And that'll be pretty cool. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. And I know you guys will be amazing and you guys will be awesome. Because you guys are always amazing and awesome. But you'll be even amazinger and awesomer this week. Those aren't words, but that's okay because you guys are amazing. Alright, I will see you guys next week with the next Bible story. Alright, bye!